Such an honor.
Thank you.
You have my deepest admiration.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's not often that you come to Miami already.
I've been trying for the last 10 years to get my agent to find a promoter to come down and play in Florida. And happily we found Nick, and here we are.
Who would have thought, huh?
Hey.
A Venezuelan and a Cuban guy.
I know, why not? Why not? Well, we're international. America's very international. I'm from England. I'm an American citizen now. And so I'm happy to live here. It's a crazy, wonderful part of the world.
And we are so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Incredible. So,
thank you.
Well,
okay.
Such an honor for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes, thank you.
It's certainly exciting, but I think it's a kind of belated.
It doesn't matter for me. You know, I have all my awards in heaven. My children and my family, I have so many awards. But to have a nice award from the Hall of Fame, because I was there last year doing a concert where I sing songs, talk to the audience, you know, and the people there, they showed me around and looked at the corner and said, "This is for yes, this corner." And I said, "Cool, I'll see you in 10 years." That was, and you know, now it could happen. We'll know in December.
And actually, I saw the voting process, and it's not doing bad at all.
No, it's okay. Yeah, but you know, the Who only just got in last year.
Funny, isn't it?
The Who, the greatest bands in the world. You know.
Sooner or later, it will happen.
Sooner or later, I'm cool.
So, the impact, the legacy of Yes is undoubtedly, but I wanted to talk about your role in the creating awareness about music around the world as well, because you've been close to musics that are considered sometimes world music or third world sometimes.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you took it as a cause, no, to bring those sounds to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think Peter Gabriel did the best thing ever. You know, he created a record label, World Music, and he had incredible connections with all these great artists from around the world. But at the very beginning of Yes, we did a show, and this guy came to me. He was the DJ that night, Jeff Dexter, I remember his name. And we were doing a show in London. I think it was our third show. And he gave me a record from Bali, of the gamelan music. And from that moment, I would listen to gamelan, I would listen to African, Central American, Asian, all kinds of indigenous music. Because we're all connected anyway. You know, indigenous music is more exciting sometimes than you can imagine, you know. The Baka people in Africa, they sing all day. Because they're in the jungle, they're singing with the birds and the bees and the flowers, and they sing. It's incredible work. It's incredible music, you know.
And you have perhaps found a connection between all these, no matter the region of the world, they all have something in common, the love for earth.
Oh, totally connected to earth, nature. You can go on Google and just Google water drumming. And you see these people making rhythms in the water all over the world, these different tribes, you know. And over the years, we've forgotten what music really is. You know, it's not just to make money. It's about our soul. I think the soul would never move if we didn't have music. It's a natural thing. That's why we had soul music, you know.
But it also has a lot to do with why you started making music, because really I think that with jazz it was an intention was to really go further, to really explore, not just stay like with the
right.
What was in on the
right.
Exactly. Like, you really wanted to go deep and explore.
Yeah, I think the first song that changed me was a song on Revolver, the Beatles album, Tomorrow Never Knows. It's one of the most extraordinary sound escape musical things, and the lyrics are amazing. It wasn't a hit, but it was great, you know. And that's why I would listen to Frank Zappa. He didn't have many hit records, but his music was great. And that's what Yes was about. You know, we didn't have many hit records, but our music was great, you know. And so I kept up that mental thinking, you know, about music being more than we understand. You know, we don't know where it comes from and what it touches our heart on so many levels, you know. And I love pop music. I listen a lot to like Coldplay, you know, I listen to that and I feel very emotional when I hear the songs, you know. And Bruno Mars, you know, he's singing at the piano with the new single and I think, oh, it's a glorious song.
I see you keep current with what's going on.
Of course, yeah.
But I wanted to go back to those days because there was something about your generation in Britain, especially with all these magnificent bands, you know, Deep Purple, The Who, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, all these bands. There was a search, you know, for something else, and they really created that sound that impacted the whole world. What do you think was about it that was so moving for all of us?
Well, in some ways, we were brought up on, especially in England, we were brought up on the Beatles, The Who, Stones, everything, and we listened a lot to a lot of the Byrds. There were some bands in America doing some great work, Buffalo Springfield, really interesting. And at that time, the end of the 60s, the record companies were very sort of like, well, we don't know, here's some money, go make some music. And we just say, okay, but please don't come into the studio, just let us make the music. And thankfully, we had a great guy called Ahmet Ertegun from Atlantic Records, a very famous man. And he would always say, just go in the studio, do what you want. And the audience will understand and they'll follow you. And so for the first 3 or 4 years of Yes, there were all these other bands, King Crimson. You know, we went to see King Crimson do their first show. And I looked at Chris Squire, I said, Chris, we better start rehearsing again because this is perfect. You know, Court of the Crimson King live for the first time in a club was like manna from heaven, you know. So,
but you weren't that much behind yourself. You were really there too.
Yeah, but you always think you're not. So you always have to experiment more, be more adventurous. And it's interesting that Yes, especially would make music for the stage. We'd make a record, but it was always what it would sound like on the stage. Not on the TV, not on the video, just on the stage. So we made music that was more to hold an audience for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, to hold 10,000 people for 20 minutes, and you can hear a pin drop sometimes. And at the end, the audience would go, yeah, you know, for about 5 minutes, you know. And we just wanted to try and get through the music. We weren't thinking anything but getting the music good, you know. So we had this, we just had this feeling about being as good as we can, you know.
Something magical really happened there, and still to this day, it is referred as the, you know, the highest points of, you know, creativity and in, you know, depths that were reached with rock, especially.
Yeah.
And perhaps the question would be, do you think in rock everything is already invented? Do you think it has reached already its
No.
peak?
You listen to some young bands. I have a couple of young bands where I live, and I listen to the recordings. They're so good. They're using technology better. They're very adventurous. There is no record company energy. This is, you know, any record companies became very corporate and very money, and pop, make, or else you're nothing.
In some way, it explains the downfall, no, of those.
Yeah, because, you know, the musicians don't have to be great looking to be great musicians, and don't have to look good on video to be great musicians. And so you have a lot of young people out there doing great music, and there's always going to be a progression in music into sort of modern dance music, you know, electro modern dance music. There's a couple of bands I watch, the Battles. Battles are pretty wild. Very electronic, simple music, but very interesting music. And, you know, there's it's a band, the drummer is the son of Trevor Rabin. It's called Group Love. I went to see them in a club And the atmosphere was magic.
From California or
Yeah,
UK? California?
LA, from LA. And a very, very good band. I'm very happy, very fun, but it sounded unique to me. So there is a lot of young musicians out there, you know, doing
Still room for growth then.
Always, 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 you know.
Sweet dreams of conversation, sweet dreams of love relations, sweet words within your makeup, sweet words of things to come.
I wanted to perhaps go back to the days of the 90s, especially the album DESEO.
Yeah.
Because there was an approach to Latin America, to the region,
I know.
to Portuguese language, to Spanish language, Brazil. What do you recall of those days and recording of this album?
I just met two guys from Uruguay, and I was living in the mountains because I was over my first marriage. I wanted a break, so I'm in the mountains, and one of the guys from Uruguay says, "I have a friend to come and meet you," and I said, "Okay." He said his name is Milton Nascimento, and I said, "Okay, I don't know." So this guy comes, and he's a beautiful man first, and I sing a song to him, and then he starts singing, and I went, "Oh my God, it's Mozart." He sings, I don't know, something about Milton. He sings, and it's like Mozart to me. It's magic, you know. So at that time, I was already writing songs and singing a little bit more Latino. I was very interested in working with Cuban big bands.
Okay.
And I got a deal with a record company to make a record. And I told them I was going to Cuba, and they stopped the check. They said, no, you've got to go to make an album with some people in LA. But I want to go to Cuba. I think Latin American music is going to be everywhere soon. You know, it's everywhere anyway, but it's going to be accepted more. It's great music. So that's why I did DESEO, was to be part of the change, you know. It was okay, but it's funny when I think of it. It's crazy taking Latin American music to Latin America, you know. They just want to hear yes songs or whatever. But I did my best, you know.
You did great.
I did okay.
You did a song with Maria Conchita.
Yes,
Alonso.
of course, yes.
You did a song with Monroig from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Milton.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Who else was there? Ruben Rada.
Yeah.
He actually flew to LA to
Yep.
record.
All these people were just inspiring for me. It was a very inspiring time. And you go through this a lot, you know. You have experiences for a while. I think the album after that, I was doing Irish music. And then I'm doing music about Carlos Castaneda, which is a famous writer. And to me, it was a very magical time, the beginning of the 90s. Because I really didn't know where I was going. And then I met my wife now, and she helped me understand a lot about life. And I keep going, you know, I still enjoy what I do.
For the ones that really admire your career and your work, there's also an important ingredient, and that is spirituality.
Sure.
I think the ones that are more, you know, prone to walk in that path really enjoy what you put into music. And it's really, I mean, it's been an amazing journey because you have taken the time to record really, really nice songs and pieces.
Yeah.
And to me, sometimes when I see someone do that, you know, take the effort to record something like that, sometimes it's misunderstood by like the rest of the, I would say, general audiences, no? And I've seen sometimes that it's hard for someone like you that has such a, you know, vision of higher self to bring it down to the common people. I mean.
Well, I'm common. I'm a common person. I'm a Yes fan. You know, I like what we did. I like the stories that unfolded when I was writing because I was searching for truth. That's all. And I'm still searching for more balance in life, to be understanding that we are connected to the divine. You know, we're all connected anyway. We're, you know, collectively on the earth, we are all one, actually. And if we do anything wrong to the earth, we do it to ourselves. And if we do it to children, we do it to ourselves. And this is something that I sing about now and write about when I'm singing as part of my understanding of what I'm thinking. So I'm not trying to, with love, I don't preach. I explain to myself what I'm thinking and I put it into a song. And if it works, I let other people hear what I'm thinking. And that's, that's the natural search for a balance with divine love and divine emotion and divine connection, as well as being on earth and being human and going through the human experience is very important. But if you find the balance, beautiful things happen, magical things.
Besides having this wonderful gift, which is your voice, which is really angelical in a way,
Sure.
and such a gift.
I'm just lucky to enjoy singing, and I sing every day, so I'm always not thinking, I don't think about it too much. I just sing,
And I know that you are currently, still working with Rick Wakeman.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I know there's always this question about, yes, coming back, and I know
Sure.
also the answer.
Sure.
You often say when they wake up, something like that.
Well, sometimes they keep asking me, I say, well, when they ask me, I will be there. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but they're very into their world. So I'm in my world. I'm doing what I want to do. I love working with Rick, but next year he's doing his tours with the orchestra, with the Journey to the Center of the Earth and Six Wives Henry VIII, because it's like 40 years later. Mm-hmm. And of course, that's his world. And I love him for that, And I'm in touch with Trevor Rabin because we're good friends, And you never know what's going to happen. You never know. And I think getting into the Hall of Fame will bring us together again.
I was going to ask about that. Do you foresee coming together that day?
I will call you. I don't know. If we get together, then we get together and everything's forgotten and we get on with music, because that's the reason we were together, is music. Not business, not money, not fame, not fortune. We got together because we like making music, And if we get together again, it'll be because of music. And that's the best way.
And on a personal note, I've been a big fan of Yes, but there was something about your solo career, especially with those years with Vangelis, that really touched me. I was I was born in Colombia.
Right.
And I grew up in a small city called Cali. And I remember having the album, the vinyl of the Friends of Mr. Cairo, and that really rocked my world. That was something, a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
And it's funny because later, my English was very poor, but I later realized that it was more like a tribute to the movie world.
Yes.
But there was something in the lyrics there that were so profound.
Yeah.
The Mayflower.
Yeah.
It was a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And I was into meditation those days. Because I'm a student of Maharaji.
Oh, good.
So I know that Eduardo del Señore was also a student.
Yeah.
And to me it was so profound. And just listening to that music, really, my meditation improved a lot.
It's funny, that album, there were two things happened, incredible things. Was Quincy Jones got the song State of Independence and recorded with Donna Summers. And the people who sang on that song was Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. There was
all the stars from the pop world.
All the stars, and there was once, twice, three times a lady. Who's that guy? Who sings that? Once, twice, three times a lady.
Lionel Ritchie.
Lionel, he was there.
He was there.
So, no. So that day, him and Quincy and Michael got together and they wrote the beginning of We Are the World. So coming out of that session, this beautiful thing happened,
It triggered something.
It triggered something. And Quincy said to me, you know, we would listen, me and Michael, we were starting Thriller, we would listen to your album, Friends of Mr. Cairo. And if you listen to Thriller, some of the rhythms, other, you know, Billie Jean is not my love. You know, he just made it funky. And he tells me this story, it's beautiful.
Those are unexpected and magical ways in which music works.
Yeah, and I was in, you probably won't use this, but I was in Denmark with Yes, and we did a show, and it was a good show, but I felt we weren't reaching so many people. You know, we were just playing the usual shows, and it was good, and I just felt, I woke up in the morning very depressed. You know, I said, we're not reaching people in Asia or in Africa or in everywhere. We're just playing the same shows and you go around in circles. And I said this to the management, but they didn't listen. So we got to the airport and we had a few minutes. So I was looking to get a medallion for the show, for the stage. And I'm looking in the shop and there's a little lady behind and she looks Asian, like, you know, oh, she's trying to help me. What would you like? Please, let me I'll show you this. And I'll show you this one. And I'm saying, it's okay, thank you. No, let me show you this. And I said, no, it's okay, I'm looking. You look like a rock star. I said, no, I'm in a band, you know. Yes, but do you know that man? I look for him all my life since I escaped from Vietnam. His name, do you know this man, JON ANDERSON? I went, what? Yes, I have a tape of John and Vangelis. And I listened to this when I was running away on my cassette machine. And I said, it's me. And she fell on the floor. I said, come on, I picked her up. I said, so it's okay, you know. Oh, she started crying. And for the next year, we'd send cards to each other. And so she answered my thinking from the morning. Are we reaching people? Of course we do, you know. Music reaches people on many levels.
I mean, to me, it's like, who would have, if somebody would have told me that I would meet you someday, I mean, I wouldn't believe. That's why I'm
thank you so much.
totally humble.
Thank you.
And I know a lot of people, especially in our region. I would like to know if you have more trips planned to South America soon.
I hope, I was just talking with a company in Bogota
Colombia.
and in Colombia. Was to do work with the symphony there. Because I have this project, I work with symphony orchestras. I did some youth orchestras, and I'm doing one in Iceland after this show. I go to Iceland to do a performance with a small orchestra and a band. And so I have these scores of music for like Yes classics and John and Vangelis. And it's a good show when you work and sing with a full orchestra. It's like riding a big wave of music. It's really good.
I don't know why. Counting the cars on miniatures terrified. We all come to for America. Yes, we all come to for America. We've all come to for America.
It feels so good to know that you are the owner of, not just A Lonely Heart, but you're the owner of your songs. Your creation. It's most of the greatest songs by Yes are yours.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm surprised they still listen to them. I'm surprised 45 years later, it's hard to put it into words, but it's amazing. Life is amazing, you know. And I still work harder now. I work so hard on the new projects because I have great belief that now I'm in my 70th year, that the good stuff is coming now, the real, the amazing stuff. Because I have to think that way. It's a natural. You know.
And it is because when you have such a soul that wants to be creating, it's
Some of the best music by music artists were written when they were now, just in their life, when they really understand a bit more of life and they're more mature. That the great music comes through if you can project it, you know.
Mr. Anderson, it's been really I mean, it's an honor.
Thank you.
It's,
Thank
it's
you.
so beautiful to have you here, and I know the crowds tomorrow. They're also very excited. Miami is a very, multicultural city.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be crowds from all over the world.
Yes, I think so. It'll be
And it's
fun.
a beautiful place too.
Yeah, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to give you a little something. This is it's. Let me just. My wife is a jewelry designer,
Oh, beautiful.
and since I know you have something for stack up wrist like this one,
I will wear it. I will
So-
wear.
just a little something. I'm gonna.
I will
Wow,
wear it. Thank
voila.
you. Thank you.
Sun is going. Sun is sinking. Sun is going. Sun